Welcome back to Bifrost, boy. You flip the temple upside down, so let's see what happens.
Boy, your knife.
Well, what have we got?
Some sort of travel stone.
Let me... Great out Dumblers. That's the Unity Stone.
You know it.
I wasn't sure it existed. If Tyr possessed this, that explains it.
He held this in the panel in Odin's library.
Yes. Yes, that's it. I understand now. It shows Tyr walking the realm between realms. You know how you must never stray from the path? Well, Tyr always followed his own path, if you catch my meaning.
The realm between realms.
What the? Wait, what?
So you're saying Tyr's shrine showed him stepping off the branch of the World Tree. And you're thinking, to reach the secret path to Jotunheim, that's what we need to do?
I am.
Oh dear. That is what you're thinking, isn't it?
Sure, I'm open.
Let's see.
Right. Lots of
Salt
luck.
Dragon 4. There's only one way to test this out.
Good. I am more than okay with not throwing ourselves over the edge of the World Tree just yet.
In due time, boy.
Really?
Oh, you better believe it. Now, where did that dragon die? There it is.
Lemire, how'd you come to be in these lands?
Lad, there comes a time in every man's life when he changes his name and heads north to make a new start. If you live long enough to do this many times over, you might end up as far north as this place. By the time I arrived, I already knew Odin by his reputation, and so I set to demonstrate my worth by coming to him with something I knew he'd value. A mystic well of knowledge. Or rather, I should say, a well of water laced with enough mystic mushrooms to make a god see visions. Oh, he was
Groovy.
rightly impressed. Can't say for sure what he saw that led him to try gouging out his own eyes, but I managed to restrain him before he finished the job. Then I persuaded him it has been his sacrifice made for an even higher form of sight to be bestowed. Blah de blah de blah de blah. I used to think he never caught on. But the day he took my eye, I realized he had never been fooled. He knew I'd outwitted him, called the lesson wisdom, and hired me to make sure from then on I was on his side. And for a long, long time I truly was. Doesn't mean he didn't hold a grudge.
Alright. God damn it. What else can I do to get up there?
Thank you, by the way,
For what?
for saving me. I know I screwed things up before Baldur grabbed me.
You did. But you are my son.
Oh. That's lovely. Now, how do I... Perfect. Don't have time for it. But since I have no choice. Oh, so much of that was ripped off.
Ah, give him what for?
Two dwarves.
Mimir, I still don't get why you ever wanted to work for Odin.
Back then, I was young enough to still be ambitious. The Aesir gods were as powerful a force as I'd come across, but they clearly lacked for strategy, focus, and sage counsel. This could I faithfully provide. And so, a stranger from a far-off island found himself with Odin's ear, trusted as he trusted no one but himself. And with that kind of power, laddie, I must confess, there are perks.
Yeah, but he's Odin.
I never claimed to be perfect, laddie, only clever. And often too clever by half.
So what'd you do to get Odin so mad at you?
Well, for a long time my job was to enable Odin, and I was fucking excellent at it. Gradually, as I grew more to care about people and the world, my job became to contain him, to protect him from himself. By serving peace, I served his interests as well, that's the truth. But he saw it as disloyalty. No longer trusting my motives, but not wishing to part with my brain or tongue, he bound me to a tree and adopted a new pastime of casual torture.
Well, I'm glad we came along to cut off your head.
Aye, lad. Lucky break that was.
Let's do it. You take care now.
However, if I socket it with... Shit. Apparently if you get the right gems, it's like the Infinity Gauntlet. God damn it. I should actually look into what I need to use. Alright, next attempt at Jotunheim, let's see what we can get. The realm between realms.
If you're thinking about hurling us all into the void, I hope you're quite sure.
Wasn't it your idea? Find our own path, right?
Bollocks.
Here we go.
This is where Tyr stepped beyond, and the Unity Stone protected him. Ready?
Ready.
Well, if this is it, lads, it's been an honor.
Our faith head.
This is incredible!
Oh, how can I be so nauseous without a stomach?
Come on, that was great.
Look.
The tower. I knew there was something down here.
Amazing! How do you hide something that exists in all realms? Cast it out of any realm to the space between. Clever old Tyr.
Is Jotunheim on the other side?
Can't be that. It's not like you go through Vanaheim to reach the Midgard Peak.
But how do we use it?
I'd suggest we look inside, but stay alert. Tyr's little challenges are never as simple as they appear.
I have noticed.
This is sparse.
The pedestal.
Can I use these doors? Not yet.
What's that? Oh no! It took the stone!
Tower. It's absorbing the stone's energy.
Something's happening! Is it moving? It's moving!
It knows what to do. The stone served its purpose. We're fulfilling Tyr's spell.
What happens now?
No idea, brother. But after that fall, I'm sure we're past the worst of it. Oh, no, this is considerably worse. Oh, glad that's over. Now, where are we?
Oh! Looks like Alphon!
Enemies ahead!
All set! Only one more! Sorry, not ready! That was tough. Where do you think it's taking us next?
I do not know.
Oh no! We're back in hell?
Oh dear, here they come.
Almost ready!
Surely that's enough of that.
Must have all that.
Move on! This won't be good. stopped. I think it's over.
Aye. But where are we?
Where are we indeed?
Look!
Aha.
We're back in Midgard. There's the bridge. We did it. The tower's back where it belongs.
Now Tyr's travel room can take us to Jotunheim.
How did Tyr do this?
Odin suspected the giants secretly possessed some remnant of primordial Jotnar creative essence, the stuff all realms were made of. The Unity Stone must have been fashioned from that essence. To trust an outsider with it, even Tyr, tells you just how desperate they were.
And look! Now we can finally light all the braziers and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Another name. Gloindel.
Another Valkyrie. That's no coincidence. But who'd have etched them on Tyr's braziers?
I actually should light them all. Let's see. I wonder what happens when you do that.
What's that down there? Another name. Gerdrifel.
It's as if they'd been made into a memorial to the Valkyries.
Let's dance.
Ready and whip.
What the?
You're familiar with the tale of Skoll and Hoti, bringers of day and night.
Oh yeah, the wolf giants.
Aye. They were born of the archwolf Hrothwitnir, a great nemesis of the Aesir gods. Odin captured them as pups and kept them in the kennels of Asgard to hold his foe at bay. But When the sun and moon grew mutinous and stood still, Odin put Skoll and Hati to use. With his ancient magics, he cast the wolves to the heavens, and they began their chase. And long shall they chase, but not endlessly. For it is foretold that someday Skoll and Hati will catch and devour their prey. And that day shall be Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods.
But Ragnarok is supposed to be Odin's doom, isn't it? Why would he set the wolves loose if it fulfills the prophecy?
Precisely the question, lad. It's always about control. The wolves determine when Ragnarok begins, and now he controls the wolves. A battle fought on his timetable is a battle he better stands to win.
Dance. Gotta pay the troll toll. Hello, World Serpent.
Another name. Air!
Someone who loved the Valkyries enough to do this? I wonder. Perhaps the Queen?
Can't go that way. What you looking at?
Okay. What about the giant with 8 arms?
Starkath the Mighty, he was called. If the Giants ever had anything so organized as an army, Starkath would have been their general. An opinion, in retrospect, I should have kept to myself. But no, as Odin's advisor, I kept him advised. And having bent his will towards Starkath's doom, there was no dissuading him. But even Thor wasn't stupid enough to take on Starkath on his own. No. Instead, the Aesir set forth slanders upon Starkath's name, branding him throughout the realms as a monster to be feared. They said he abducted an elf queen who killed herself rather than be ravished by the giant. Lies, of course, but you're too young for her story. In the end, even the Vanir gods and the armies of Midgard were roused to the cause. They surrounded Starkath, showered him with arrows until he was brought to his knees. He surrendered, hoping by trial he could clear his name. Thor took advantage and ripped off one of Starkath's arms, which only made it easier to sever another and another until he was satisfied. Relieved of 6 arms and too much blood, Starkath perished upon the battlefield. I regret it to this day, you know. I told myself there was nothing I could do, but I wish I'd tried.
Can't do this one. Is this the annoying one? Was I not up there? How do I... How do I get to the tower? Oh wait, I think there's something in the cave.
Which way?
That's where the ghost was. Please let those wolves not be there yet again.
If I'm not mistaken, we've yet to discuss the tale of the giant Bergelmir.
Oh yeah, I remember his shrine. He looked happier than the other ones, mostly.
Or I can just tell you this story later.
Oh.
Another name. Ulrich.
Yeah, you could've just
Arcane
used it.
runes. They must have been cluing us to look for Valkyries imprisoned in Muspelheim and Niflheim.
This one's gonna be the annoying one.
Hey, Mimir. Last we were in a boat, you had just started the story.
We were just starting the tale of the giant Bergelmir. It begins in an ocean of blood.
Finally, a story worth hearing.
If you remember, Ymir, the first giant, was fatally stabbed by Odin. And we'll pick this up later.
What? What are you ready for? Yeah. I've always wondered about this chest. I've never been able to deal with it. Hmm. I think I see the... Alright, time for this.
Go!
traveler's still there.
Another name. Gunnar.
Glad I'm on your side.
One more.
Right then. We were in the middle of a story, weren't we?
Yes,
We
continue.
return to Odin's mortal wounding of the giant Ymir. It's in his blood our story starts. Ymir's magical guts poured out in a torrent so violent it threatened to flood all of creation. The Jotnar were unprepared, as the very last of them were washed away in the endless tide. Not just Ymir, but all of giant kind faced extinction. And so would Odin's victory have been complete. But Ymir's kind did not all perish that day. Staying afloat in the hollowed husk of a tree, the frost giant Bergelmir endured, as did his lady wife. For weeks they sailed, until finally they came upon a new land. They called it Jotunheim. And there they would start anew. As father and mother they would multiply exceedingly, and as king and queen they worked to make Jotunheim a land where giants would know no master but themselves. Bergelmir never sought revenge for Odin's slaughter. His vengeance was to live and prosper. He died at peace, a legion of his kin to mourn him. He would ever be known as Bergelmir the Beloved.
Bergelmir the Beloved. Huh. I've never heard a story end that way. Not a true one, anyway.
If you do, laddie.
I swear this head got redder as the journey progressed.
Alright, last one. Healed her! But we could have used that when we fought the Valkyrie Queen.
What? Where was this?
The tower ate the Unity Stone, didn't it? I wanted to fly again.
Yes, that's a terrible pity.
Whoa.
I don't know what we'll find when we get to Jotunheim, but we must cover our tracks. Odin's ravens will tell him of the tower's restoration, and we mustn't let our efforts be to his benefit.
Very well.
Aha.
This is it. Here we go.
Hold on, wait a minute. This isn't going to work.
What?
There's no travel crystal. Tyr must have used his own eyes to refract the energy. It was his final failsafe.
You've got eyes like him, Mimir.
I've got an eye. One! Odin plucked out my other eye precisely to keep me from traveling. Sorry, lads. Thought that would work.
What did Odin do with your other eye?
He'd have kept it. In any of 100 places, I'm afraid.
We've come so far. There has to be a way.
Look, bit of a long shot, but for years I'd see Sindri, sometimes Brock, lurking around in that mountain when Odin came for his visits. Maybe they know something.
Brock and Sindri. Hey guys, question for you. Anyone know where we can find Mimir's other eye?
Oh. That's... I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, Odin asked me to... He wanted me to build a...
Deandra Reynolds or something?
He showed it to me, you see, and I... Declined. Sorry. Will you excuse me? Oh.
Well, that was useless.
You know, it was about that same time that Odin came around looking for me to build a statue with some sort of hidden compartment. Now, that not being a weapon and the Aesir being a bunch of pock-speckled talkers, I too saw fit to decline. But I know he got it built just the same.
What was the statue?
It's that one of Thor out there flashing his sack to the lake.
Flat
The
in the
statue
sack.
that the serpent ate.
Sorry about that. Feeling much better.
How are we supposed to look inside the snake?
Inside? Oh no!
We'd better go see what the world serpent has to say about that.
I suppose
Well,
so.
lads, I don't know what lies ahead. But now would be a good time to make sure your gear is ready for the worst. Anything you need to do, I'd do it now. Just some
Oh,
sage
boy.
advice.
This could be curtains.
Once more to the horse. Ready.
Let's see. What do you want?
To statu inis mutu tu fa.
Is the statue lost to us?
He thinks it might still be in his stomach. And he's open to letting you roll into his mouth to look inside.
Ew. Really?
By the by, he's not wild about it either.
Inconvenient.
So, are we really doing this? Letting the serpent swallow us?
You do not have to come.
Well, I'm not gonna miss this.
Let's see. I wonder. It's your talisman. I wish this thing would show cooldown. I wonder what the specific gems are, actually. That would be kind of good to know. Unlock the true potential. Mind giving me a sec? Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'll figure out what gems it is off screen, and if we need to go get them, we'll go get them. Otherwise, potentially next episode is the thrilling conclusion. We'll see you then.